here we are getting ready for the finals of the PBA50 Highland Park Lanes Open here in Greeley, Colorado. Our first trip here to Greeley, north of Denver a little bit, and we've had a pretty solid afternoon of great matches. And starting things out, somebody we're familiar with, the #1 seed. He's bowled for the title 3 times this year, Tom Hess. Making his second show, the 2 seed, Tom Adcock. Looking for his second win of the year, Chris Barnes. And looking for his first win this year, making another show here, Michael Haugen Jr. And this is a rematch of that last round of match play because the gentleman that Michael is bowling, Carlos Denot from Mexico, was the 2 seed, but lost to Michael, so he sneaks in as a 5. So I've got Tom Carter here to my left. And Tom, we learned a little bit about Carlos here this afternoon, and you did as well on his history.
Yeah, I had to go find out some stuff because Carlos is our newbie. He's only bowled 8 tournaments so far, and that's in the last couple of years. It hasn't been all this season.
Right.
And at the Senior World Cup in 2017, he was the runner-up in Munich with Lenny Borsch and Ron Moore and all those guys. So
wow, that's impressive.
He's got some credentials. And in 1990, he placed 6th at the World Games.
He wasn't a senior then.
No, he wasn't a senior then. And so, obviously, Carlos can play. He's just new to us out here on the senior tour.
And this will be interesting. He was actually down. He was up 48 in his match against Michael Haugen Jr. Michael comes out, throws a front 4 at him, and the first time we saw, Carlos showed some nerves in that match and let Michael get around him. But I think he also knew at that time that Hess had won, and he was guaranteed a spot in the show.
Well, Carlos was ahead of Michael by 50 pins going into that last game. And like you said, he had a little bit of a hiccup. He threw a couple of splits, some spares, and Haugen went on almost, it was looking at a 279 pace and picked up those 50 pins pretty easily. But like you said, Tommy Hess won, which allowed Carlos to get the number 5 spot.
He knew at that point it didn't matter, and he was good to go. So here we are in a rematch of the last round of match play. Michael Haugen Jr. out of Phoenix and Carlos Denot out of Mexico. John Weber finishing up his final instructions here to the players and the fans, and what a great week we've had here at Highland Park Lanes.
This place is phenomenal. Zach and Jackson have done nothing but gone out of their way for all of the players, the spectators, the motorhome people, the PBA truck. I know this tournament was kind of thrown together as a fill-in, but what a great facility. And all of these guys here, everybody behind that counter are bowlers, and they know exactly what's going on. I hope we get to come back.
I got a pretty good feeling that it'll be adjusted in the schedule to find a little bit better spot to boost the entries a little bit.
Well, it would be really nice since it's up here in Greeley to come here before we all head out to the Super Senior and Senior Masters.
I wasn't sure. Am I supposed to go or not? No more practice. No more practice. He's ready. He's eager.
And he's nervous as all get out.
And I got to be honest, Tom, I'm kind of a little bit mad you're sitting here right now.
Well, I know I was out there.
You should have been out there.
I should have been. I ran out of gas, guys. If you watch that match, I had a good round before. I had a 270 game, a couple of 220s. Felt good. I just got tricked up by the lanes. I tried to play them the same. It didn't work out. It was dumb. I don't know what to say other than it's bowling. I should have done something different, but hindsight's 20/20.
Well, we got you back here now where you know what you're doing, so this will be better for you.
Thanks a lot.
No problem. And here we go. Yeah. Carlos going to start the match.
Well, I enjoy being here. This I enjoy on this side too. This is for the last several years has been a highlight of my day. Carlos's first match, you throw in a gym. Now you're going to see Carlos do a whole lot of things in his release.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on that arm swing.
Yeah, he's got a bent elbow, he's got a cupped up wrist, and he uncorks everything, and he's covering quite a few boards. And this is about the 35th time these lanes have been oiled, and they just keep getting flatter and flatter. And you push it too far to the right, and you end up with that, the wonderful 210.
Yeah, there's definitely out of bounds. The pattern doesn't really show out of bounds. It's a 45-foot Dick Weber, oiled 35, buffed to 45, only 22 mils, so not a high volume pattern. But the graph-wise, it doesn't really show OB, but the way that these lanes are playing in the center, there is definite OB if you get it down lane.
There is. I mean, you can get it out to like 7, 8, and definitely don't get any farther than, I think, 7, unless you got a boatload of hand. I was fortunate enough to be able to get it to there and get it to come back. But in my match that you've seen, I couldn't get it there. It was like the front part of the lane hooked immediately, and I couldn't get it to the right. And it was just terrible. And so we start out with open, because Michael is going to go more direct, both throwing them gems. But here's the problem I see with throwing something with so much surface. They're going to tear apart the front part of the lane, and the back part of the lane is already tight. You have no room to the right, so you got to keep the ball in the tube. Scores could be as well as they were in this tournament. I think the scores on the show could be a little different.
Well, if my name's Tom Hess, I'm liking what I'm seeing early. Let these guys chew up the front part of the lane, because he can just throw firmer than anybody out there, and it's not even going to matter for him. So I think he's probably likes what he's seeing right now.
Well, Michael's got credentials, so he's going to be able to, I would think, figure this out, being, the 2017 Rookie of the Year and 2018 Player of the Year, and he goes from 4.6 to a 4.9, and he did that twice down there against Carlos on the left lane, throwing the exact same ball.
Yeah, they were on 17 and 18 in their match play round. We haven't had anybody on these pairs this afternoon when they weren't used for any match play at all. Of course, the players hit it during qualifying. He's got a chance.
Oh, and he picked up one of the 4.9s down there. So, this first match is going to be a little touch and go. You had all these guys over here practicing with all kinds of surface and grit. And as Zach mentioned, one of the balls that Michael threw looked like he brought it here behind his car and drug it on the asphalt.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did.
It was so dull.
Well, I wonder if this will help Carlos's nerves a little bit. Yeah, he opened the first shot with a split there, but when Michael put some pressure on that last match, you definitely see it got to him, and that's a much better shot right there.
Yeah, Carlos on that shot on this replay, I don't think he got it to 10 down lane or right at 10. And I think that's going to be the key to this tournament is not opening up the lane down lane as much as we did all through qualifying and then the 5 games of the cashier's round and the match play. Things are going to have to be a little bit tighter. But like you said, there shouldn't be an out of bounds, you wouldn't think. But with all the re-oils, it has developed.
No doubt. We've definitely seen it. Oh, you liked it.
This shot has been what I call speed sensitive, and for the guys that could throw it a little bit slower, I think created a little bit more back end motion than the guys playing firm. But the guys going to be firm, they're going to have to keep it in what I call a tube.
So no box this week, it's the tube?
It's the tube. The box,
right,
there's no box. And for the last couple of weeks we talked about you got to get to the box down lane.
Right.
And I just think on this, you just got to keep it in the tube start to finish.
All right. Well, early on, a little low scoring. You see 3 splits are the first 5 shots. And see what Haugen does here. He's just got to make a better shot on it. This one he just flat out pulled his first shot. Second shot I don't think was too bad. 4-9.
If Michael does what he does.
Like that.
He moved left, squared it up, and there's the tube. There's no hook spot. It's just piped.
Yep. It's kind of, if you're in the right spot, by the time he gets arrows, you're good.
Michael went through a complete array of equipment in his previous round. I think he threw 6 different balls in 3 games.
I think he's only got 6 with him, too. That's what he usually carries, so he tried them all. Oh, we've had some epic matches so far today. We opened up the first round with Parker Bone and Chris Barnes, which was, 750 to 760s or something like that.
And that was the only match that was that high.
Yeah,
everybody else
shot
was
600.
Exactly. I think everybody else is having a slugfest and wanted to win but couldn't win.
I think they were all watching that match. It was a good one. And then, of course, we had Angelo and Barnes the next round. A lot of good matches, a lot of good players, some new faces making it here. Mike Diaz really gave Tom Hess a battle through the first, 25 frames of that match, and Hess just took control late. There's a good angle. Look at that shot. Walking it out. Nice.
One thing that Carlos has got that you're going to see maybe only one other player do on the show, Carlos has got loft. He is getting that ball. This first set of dots are 7 feet out there, and he is literally getting the ball out on the lane, which helps the ball dig through that oil and try to create some kind of motion. Most of the other players, the ball's down really pretty quick, and that's going to could cause that ball to hydroplane through the mids, and if it keeps hydroplaning through the mids, it'll never reach the back end.
But for somebody like you use the heads to get the ball down lane, or you want some of that head oil?
Yeah, because of my slower ball speed.
Right.
Exactly. Oh. He didn't even think that he struck. That was incredible. That was awesome.
We got to work on his celebration a
Look
little
at
bit.
that. He's like, oh no, I thought I struck.
We need to practice. I'm not sure
He's
what this is.
He's not even watching
here.
it. Then all of a sudden, like, oh.
I don't know what that is, but we got to work on that a little bit. Carlos.
I don't know if that was a pirouette. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, you got like a 3-2 from the Russian judge.
That kind of looked like you trying to pirouette.
Yeah, that wasn't good at all. Question in the chat. There's no banner for Carlos because he has not won yet. Wow, that's a blower 7 right there. Yeah, everything went over top of that 7-pin. And
look at the ball speed that Michael threw that 18.55. Now you are not going to get a lot of ball motion at 18.5 mile an hour. He is going to fire that thing. And Carlos threw his last shot at 15.9. So obviously you're going to see a little bit more ball motion down lane, slower ball speed, big ball in hand. All these guys are throwing, both of them, and I think every one of them have got one. There's a gym, and they're all drilled pin up.
Yeah, Hess bowled the last block, I think, with that ultra reality, the last half of it anyway. Chris has tried some different nuggets in his match against Brad. And yeah, I think Adcock was throwing the gym. And quickly to add to that comment there about why there's no banner for Carlos, he has not won on the 50 tour yet, or the regular tour. Tom Adcock has. He won a Decatur back in 2013, but he was a non-member. That's why he did. He actually has an unofficial win, but he was not a member, so he doesn't get credit officially for a title event.
Exactly, as a non-member. Yeah, that was the doubles tournament with Kerry Painter.
Was that what it was?
Yep.
In Decatur? Okay.
Decatur was, it was always fun going to Decatur, right? We always enjoyed going there, but unfortunately we haven't been for several years. Tommy's been trying to get us back.
So that was the last time, 2013. So, well, yeah, he won it, and then they just shut it down, right?
See what happens when you win?
Yeah.
You can't come back.
You win in your own home, and then that's what happens. Yeah?
Ooh, that looked like a chop.
So that means when we get to Wayne Webb's, we're going to pencil you in for the W?
God, you know.
I mean, you know that place like better than anybody.
Well, yeah, other than Wayne, he's going to be bowling.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Wayne's going to, but, you know, Wayne always complains he has no legs. Well, he doesn't. They're very short.
Yeah, they're only 2 foot tall.
I mean, they're really short legs, but he always says he's running out of stamina. And granted, we're getting older.
Oh, boy. Couple of 10 pins for Carlos.
I guess Zach up at the counter he can speak Spanish, so him and Carlos were having quite of a conversation. Unfortunately, I don't know if any of us in the booth here can speak Spanish.
I may need Zach if Carlos wins this for the interview, because that could be a challenge. I don't know any Spanish.
¿Cómo estás? That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a lot of Spanish-speaking people up in the middle of Michigan. Just, not too many of them. See Barnes down there getting a few practice shots in, getting ready to take on the winner of this match.
So I know you guys have already done it because I haven't been in the booth this week. You've already picked a winner between you and Brian, so who'd you pick?
I picked Tom Adcock early in day one, and then Brian took Tom Hess. So we got the Tom and Tom show. And hey, they're 1 and 2 seeds.
Hey, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah, we did okay so far.
Yeah, well, I wish there was another Tom going up that ladder, but you know,
next time.
Next time.
And I picked Barnes the last 2 weeks, and he let me down, so I didn't pick him this week, and now he makes the show. So
I feel pretty fortunate. We bowled 4 tournaments. I've made 3 match plays and 1 cash, so I'm not complaining.
You ready for a couple weeks off?
Yes, I am. I'm ready for 2 weeks off. But
really,
it's not even going to be
the motorhome for you.
It's going to be a week off because when I go to Colorado Springs to visit my dad's ranch, I think I'm mowing pasture and building fence. So that's going to be a little bit different kind of work.
Still be a little vacation. There's a better shout out of Michael Haugen.
Michael Haugen with a possible 224. Carlos. Ooh.
Yeah, 238.
238.
Yeah. A little bit of a lead for Carlos through 7. Up 14. 3 frames to go.
That ball never had a chance. That thing went down there flying.
I mean, Michael's not a big rev guy to begin with, but it still looks like he definitely missed that one at the bottom. The ball just never got roll.
He threw it 18 mile an hour.
Never read a thing.
And at that speed, and since he's not a high rev player, he's got to get it pointed up and at him a little bit. He can't be giving it away.
I was a little nervous about that spare. I'll be honest. That one scared me a bit. Oh, they're still falling.
That looked like one of my leaves today.
There's the make a spare shot, though. 178. Well, 178, 910. And there we are. Hey, everybody.
Oh, we're back?
We're back.
Hey.
We got Tom Carter to my left. We got Brian Keane over there.
He's in the truck.
Ship. Yeah,
Brian in the truck.
A few fans back here watching with us as Carlos gets ready to try to keep that lead at least 14 through the next 2 shots here.
It was kind of funny after Carlos made the show, they were introducing him. John Weber's introducing everybody. Carlos is walking around. You're supposed to go out by the foul line. He didn't know what to do, and he's like, "What? Where am I supposed to go?"
He's a quick learner.
He was so funny.
It's refreshing to see some new faces out here, and it's good to see guys. I mean, hey, we had Glenn Morgan Smith had a great week, won the regional, and almost made the show here.
Exactly.
I'd like to see that.
It's always nice to see new faces, somebody a chance, a new chance to win. Because you're always going to see the Hall of Famers up there, Parker and Hess and Chris Barnes and Walter, Learn and Amaletto and Ryan Schaefer. And when we get to the Midwest Swing, which starts July the 18th in Westland, Michigan, Vision Lanes, it's going to be a whole different group of people. And the greats are always up there. Mike Diaz made a comment to me that he looked down there and he goes, other than Carlos and Brown, I believe his name was.
Yeah, Dennis Brown,
Dennis
local
Brown.
guy.
He goes,
Colorado Springs guy.
Mike called us. He goes, everybody that made it is touring players. It's hard for young guys, new guys to make it because all of those guys, we all do it every week.
Well, 204 is the max for Michael Haugen Jr. So Carlos cannot be shut out. He can go spare sheet, still shoot 216. So Michael can put some
just
pressure
open.
on him. Not anymore.
Not anymore. That was 175. Now he can strike out for 205.
But still, the same. He can still win by a pin.
He can win by a pin.
So he can't be shut out.
No, but we have a possibility of a tie.
But, yeah, Michael can definitely put some pressure on him. And we saw that last match when Michael applied some pressure. Carlos got a little nerves to him and threw a lot of errant shots there in that last game. So that's something to watch here. Did he learn from that? And can he control those emotions? And let's see if Michael can really give it to him right here. You would expect nothing less.
Did you see that messenger come across the lane? Holy crap. That was going to take care of something.
Well,
that was the head pin.
Michael's won on every tour. You said former rookie of the year, play of the year out here. He knows he was just given a gift in this match with Carlos here and got to go up and like that, make a great shot and take advantage of it.
Yeah, if he strikes out, he forces Carlos to strike out to win.
Yeah, right now Carlos just has to beat the 10th frame for Michael.
Right.
If Michael goes spare strike, he's got to go spare strike, to stay ahead by a pin. If Michael doubles, he's got to double.
I think Michael's learned a few things.
That was a half a mile an hour faster than his last shot.
Well, as long as he doesn't get over-amped. I mean, because you can see the ball going down the lane. It really never picks up. I mean, he's going pretty direct at the pocket.
So if this is you or watching this, would you go 1-1 right, but then the danger of going through the face?
I don't think he can go through the face as hard as he's throwing it.
So just square up a little bit, maybe? I mean, let's see. There's been a couple of shots on this left lane that we've saw Haugen, the ball just doesn't seem to read quite as good as it does on lane 20.
Michael Haugen answering the call. I mean, those last two shots have been pure.
Yeah, that was just a 1/10 of a mile an hour slower, but a little bit tighter. But he found that little bit of kind of shim that you guys have been talking about, a little bit of oil in the middle, and that ball just kind of squirted just a touch on him.
There is and if it breaks down to this, there is really a huge shim right at 14 and 15. And if you can ride that thing, you're going to strike a lot. I mean, if you roll it right, it just sits there to the pocket. You might think it's going to be high, but it doesn't. It just lays there.
Well, you see the score there for the bowlers in the 9th frame, 174 for Haugen, 175 for Denot. So
Haugen strikes out for 204. Yep. He is forcing Carlos to throw 3.
Got to get him
double
off.
and 9, and we have a tie.
He's struck twice and 2 10 pins on this right lane for Carlos. So he's 50-50.
So it all depends on what happens, obviously, this first shot and how his nerves react.
I think if he gets this first one, he can get all 3. Honestly, I mean, you can't get all 3 without the first one, but if he makes a good shot here, then he's fine,
That's
what I'm trying to get at.
Can't shoot 300 without the first one?
It's not very easy, except when you get my handicap, you can.
I liked it.
He likes it.
Oh, he trips it.
4.
Trips a 4. Carlos, I'm impressed. He doesn't waste any time. He doesn't think about it very much. He just goes up and throws it. And you can see that Carlos has got more ball motion down lane just because one is loft, speeds 3 mile an hour, almost 3 mile an hour slower.
Well, if you go back to your match against James Campbell, there was 2 shots on the left lane that James took a long time on the approach. And I said before through the first one, I said, this is going to go high. He stood there a long time, and it did. And then the second time he did, he actually tripped to 4, but it was still high. There's another shot for Carlos. How about that?
Look at that.
How about that?
Boy, I think you've got it's not ESP, but I mean, you've got that. You can see you're psychic. You can see the future.
Yeah.
Okay, he needs this one to win, 9 to tie, folks. He threw that last shot was dead pure.
That was pure. He got it right in the tube, and he knew it right off his hand. That was good.
Carlos Denot on his first PBA 50 telecast, showing no nerves.
I think it helped that he bowled Michael the last round and lost, too. So here we go.
Oh, that's high. Carlos got slow on that one. That was slow.
But I'll tell you what, Carlos made himself a lot of fans here this week.
Oh,
no doubt about it.
I feel sorry for Carlos. He just got a little bit slow, but as well as he threw it, folks, you're going to see Carlos on another show. Michael Haugen now against Chris Barnes, Hall of Famer.
Barnes with a win this year in Aberdeen.
I mean, from here on out, it's pretty much the Hall of Fame show.
Barnes will get his practice shots. USBC Hall of Famer, PBA Hall of Famer. He's won 19 times in a regular tour. got his wins out here on this tour. He just knows how to win.
So you are the geek of stats.
Yeah, sometimes.
So was the Tournament of Champions where Michael Haugen came from behind a 50-pin deficit to beat Chris Barnes on that show?
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on, somebody in the chat knows.
Somebody in the chat knows. Chris Barnes, 2 titles. His last one was the Grandville Financial Open this year.
I am definitely not going to ask Chris that question, but somebody in the chat knows.
Michael Haugen with 3 wins. He hasn't won since 2018.
Really?
In Monticello? It's been 4 years.
Yeah, we haven't been back to Monticello since then either.
No, right. And that was that was a pattern you had to play pretty darn straight on as well.
Yeah. That's Spikener's place, isn't it? Yeah, Monticello.
It could be now. Yeah, it could be now. Yeah.
Him and Mike Flanagan.
Mike Fagan.
Fagan, I mean, I said Flanagan.
Yeah.
Fagan.
Fagan.
It started with an F.
Yeah, that was. I remember that week up there. That was low scoring, very low scoring. There was 3 games over 270 for the entire week, and Don Blatchford had all 3 of them that week.
And Don is pretty straight.
Yes.
I mean, he's straight. I don't know if I've ever seen the ball go right off of Don's hand.
It doesn't need to.
It goes straight or left, but I've never seen it go right.
So Tom Hess still on the show has 2 wins. Chris Barnes has 2 wins on this tour. Michael Haugen has 3, hasn't had one since 2018. And Tom Adcock does have a title, but it was as a non-member. So we've got guys that know how to win left here on the show.
Tommy Adcock has won one of the toughest tournaments in the history of the game. He has won the Peterson.
Twice, I believe. Right?
Once I know of. I don't think he's won it twice. If he's won it twice, I'd be impressed.
It's even more impressive.
Yeah, but he's won the Peterson. And if anybody out there has ever bowled the Peterson, you will know.
There's Ryan Barnes down there. We had Ryan in here calling the match that Chris had earlier against Brett Angelo, and it was interesting to see the dynamic between those two. And Chris really, he really listens to what Ryan has to say. He takes his input. They've got a pretty good back and forth, and they see the lanes pretty similar. And
well, Ryan being two-handed, I mean, he's got to see it a little bit different, but at least, you know, you're going to get a different perspective, you know.
And he's only been bowling for 3 or 4 years, Ryan. To see what he's done in that short time for his career is
and he bowls for
impressive.
Wichita.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty impressive. And Chris came out of Wichita, too.
He did. That's a factory up there.
Oh, they make a lot of good bowlers. This match about ready to get underway. Chris Barnes, Michael Haugen. Chris Barnes, USBC, ABC Hall of Famer. Think he's going to be throwing, he's got a reality. He's got a zen. He told me he was going to try to stay just super forward with his hand and just let the ball roll up, which means he's going to try to keep it, I would think, relatively tight in the tube, which is pretty much what that is right there. Both of these, the reality's got 1,000 on it, but the other balls he's thrown are just straight out of the box.
Yeah, it was interesting having Chris come back between shots talking to Ryan when he was in the booth. And he was talking and moving a half right, moving a half left. He was really splitting boards in that match against Brad Angelo, and that was a heck of a chess game.
PBA Tour champion. He's won twice out here on the PBA50 Tour. He was the 1998 PBA Tour Rookie of the Year, and in 2008 he followed that up with the PBA Tour Player of the Year, PBA and USBC Hall of Famer Chris Barnes, Michael Haugen. Should be a great match. Let's go.
How many years ago was that Tournament of Champions between these two?
More than 3.
6? 6?
It was a while. little high flush there, but hey, got the job done.
Michael hasn't changed his strategy yet.
That was right over about 9.5 at 17.7 mile an hour.
Classic style of Chris Barnes. Kind of a two-step pause and go through it. I was thinking the other day, you know, we've talked about Brad Angelo has that little bit of a hesitation. Chris has a hesitation, and we used to have a guy out here, Henry Gonzalez, on the senior tour. They called him Stop and Go. He basically did the same thing. He started, a little hesitation, and went.
It's just a timing thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's all about timing.
And for everybody who's just tuned into the finals here, hasn't been with us all week, our camera angle is a little bit different than normal. There's the only thing in the center is the settee area, and where we're at is pretty dark. So you're not able to see. I mean, you can see behind Chris Barnes' shirt there. It's a little dark up there, but we've lightened it up the best we can. We've got a good shot of lanes and the pins, but it's just a little darker than normal. But we're making it through with no problem. That's a better shot.
A way better shot, throwing that reality. And I think the players all noticed that when we first came in here. We're looking up the ceiling like, do they have all the lights on? Because when we first came in, and our eyes adjusted to it, but it just seemed so dark in the beginning. That was 2008, the Chris Barnes Michael Haugen match, Tournament of Champions. Wow, that was quick with the footwork there, and he trips out the 2-8. That wasn't a traditional Michael Haugen approach there. It looked like he just ran to the line.
Fast with his feet, a little bit of loft, which he hasn't been doing, just kind of hurried everything on that one. But it worked.
The old saying, it's not how, it's how many, right?
Yeah, when's the day going to come when we have somebody just kick the ball down there? We're seeing everything else right now, so you never know.
As a player, you never want to make that shot that is god-awful and get rewarded for it, but it happens. You know,
it was about 11.5 at that far rangefinder there. So this ball is not tipping much to get where it needs to be.
No, he is definitely inside the mark. He's not giving it away. He's setting it down on 8, going to 11. And throwing it 17.88, a little bit slower than he did the previous match, but he started out with a front 3. Chris Barnes, 9 spare strike. Chris's ball is reading. I resemble that reaction. The ball just hooks up way too early. Not that I throw anything like Chris Barnes, but
that was pretty slow. I mean, Chris has been 18.3, 18.5.
Yeah, but his ball read the mids just really fast there.
Well, I guess good news for Haugen is Flanagan's not going to be at the next couple of stops, so he should make a few more shows at that. Holds true. A nice spare of the 3.610 for Barnes. You know, had nothing to do with that anymore.
Well, that 3.610 popped up quite a bit this week, plus the 3.6910, plus the PBA4 out of the middle.
And you had all those in one game earlier.
I pretty much think I did.
And you almost made that big split. Nice over-the-shoulder shot there. You see, he's getting
just
that rangefinder.
Yeah, he switched balls to the Zen. I think he tried to tighten it up a little bit, but again, we're talking about speed. He threw it a little bit slower. That's only 17.3.
Yeah, half mile an hour slower than the last shot.
And
shaped it a little bit more.
And
I got out to 7.5 or 8 at that rangefinder.
But Chris had these problems during qualifying too. I mean, there's some pairs that he just ramboed. Then he went on like a four. Oh my God. A 4-game stretch where he was 190s because he couldn't get the ball to go through the pins the right way. And that is totally uncharacteristic of Chris Barnes missing a 10-pin. He's got to be one of the best spare shooters we have on the senior tour.
Unforced error. Not much you can do about it now. You can't get it back. You know, in darts, if your ball bounces, if your dart bounces off the board and you catch it, you're allowed to rethrow it. But I don't think you can run down and catch the ball before it tries to hit the pins. You have to be pretty fast.
Oh, Michael Haugen tripping a 4-pin forward.
That's just a little more salt in the wound.
Oh,
right there.
That was perfect timing when you said that as Chris Barnes walks right in front of us.
Yeah, he's walking that one out now. I mean, he's already upset he missed a 10-pin, and then, you know, he sees that. And
yeah. And you don't want to think that the writing is on the wall early, and only in 4 frames, but Michael starting with the front 4.
Weren't you guys just saying it was Haugen that came back from 50 to win once, and now maybe Chris can turn the tide here and return the favor? That's what he's going to have to do. And that's what we saw from Haugen earlier. When he missed, he wasn't even close to that pin.
That's the problem, I think, with starting it up and pointing it pretty much up at the pocket. If you square it up at the line a little bit and don't get it started up, the ball never hits the head pin.
Yeah.
How is that possible? He shoots the head pin in front of the 10-pin, hits the sidewall, and misses the 10.
That's uncivilized.
That, the bowling gods, he must have ticked him off. I thought he had that made.
Well, it's 46 pins through 4 frames. That advantage for Michael Haugen Jr. Excuse me, going into the 5th frame. Missed a frame there.
Chris really studying whether if he's making a move. I mean, last time on this lane, the ball just checked.
All right.
That was a great shot there.
Yep.
And I don't think he got that any farther than 10 down lane either. That shot was
another look
right
here.
I know
that
was
10 and a half.
Yeah, 10 and a half, 11.
Yep.
So the key is don't get the ball right of the marker down lane. Well, you got what, 45 feet? Is that what you said?
Yeah, oil 35, buff to 45.
And the rule of thumb is 31, which means your break point should be 14. But we always figure out on tour about 80% of that number. So that would put us pretty close to 11. Then.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Oh, look at that. Solid 9 with a
Not
helicopter
anymore.
messenger knocking it out.
And that's what you got to do. Your opponent gives you that opening, just throw 2 strikes right back at him and say, come and get some of this.
That was a way better shot. Mike's tempo, his footwork, his tempo to the line was way smoother.
Take a look at this right here. Nice and smooth, timing right on.
Post the shot. And you're going to see all these guys, the next Chris, Tom Adcock, Tommy Hess, all post the shots. Makes you more accurate at the line. Can't be falling all over the place.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's anybody out here better than Tom Hess at posting shots now. He stands there. He sees it all. He watches that ball go right off the end of the pin deck every single shot.
When your timing's on, you can post shots.
That's right.
Oh, that was right on top of 10 down lane.
Yeah, that was 2 right of where he's been down there.
Now, I might be mistaken, but that looked like that was either 9-10 at the arrows and 10 at the marker. So that's
there was no belly on that shot.
No,
at all.
No, that was 45 feet at dead straight.
Well, he did what he had to do. Chris throws a double at him. He gets it right back.
Oh, that's inside of target, and it held.
You heard him say shim, and it did.
What did I say earlier about right at 15?
Yeah.
If you pull it in just right, it does shim. It looks like, and it just stays there.
Oh, he was asking for it too. We got a 16-pin match here. Through 7 frames for both players.
So you're flying out tonight at midnight?
12:55.
Wow. You'd be sleeping all the way home.
Maybe. Go watch a movie. A little re-rack, take a little time here. Compose yourself. It's another quality shot from Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. About 12 to 10, and
Oh, he broke
all right,
that
broke
up.
it up. Yeah.
So
Now watch, you see, he doesn't post a shot here a little
No.
bit. I thought he stuck a little bit.
he threw. Am I mistaken? The previous shot he threw the Zen on the right lane, and he just threw the reality on the left lane.
I think you are correct.
I'm curious on.
I can't quite see him from here, though, unfortunately.
Best Chris can do is 227.
Yeah, and Haugen's pacing 224. It's just been that one errant shot for Haugen where he missed the head pin.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure how he missed the spare when he shot at it.
Two errant shots right there. I was going to say his max score was 264, but he just changed my mind. Michael throwing the gym, and Chris is alternating between 2 balls, a Zen and a reality. We got a lot of different kinds of surfaces going down the lane.
That's yeah, a lot of different cores, a lot of different surfaces.
Tommy Hess over here at the sideline getting an eyeful, trying to see what's going on.
Haugen now pacing 222. Chris Barnes max 227. That was 10 to 10 and
He
a
knew
half.
that was.
That was 10 to 10 and a
yeah.
half.
That- how 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that's fairly direct.
Yeah. Most people can't throw a dull ball with that big of a ball that straight and keep it on line. And it wants to pick up at some point.
You got to appreciate the crowd here. We're starting to really fill them in, and they're staying very quiet for these players. So
I think all these guys
appreciate
behind
it.
us are bowlers. I mean, this whole place is nothing but bowlers.
They got a big scratch league up here and a big senior tour as well, scratch senior tour, and we saw some of those guys compete here this week. They've done a great job in this facility.
Chris in a must-strike situation right now.
It looks like he's still sticking with that rally on the left lane.
Yeah. That was like 14
to 10. Yeah.
And he's taking his final re-rack.
Now, you are allowed more if there is something obvious, right? You can just say, hey, John Weber, something's really messed up. Can I get another re-rack? Is that allowed? Or?
It's up to John's discretion, but you're allowed to.
Yeah, you get 2 freebies, right?
Yeah, but that third one, you pretty much got to pull the teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, something's got to be drastically wrong.
Hey, John runs a tight ship. He's been doing this for a couple of years.
I'm sure he's ready for a 2-week break, but I don't think he gets a break. He's got to go out to Maine, doesn't he? I mean, there's the big thing.
No, I think he's going home for a little bit.
And the big thing starts, what, the 6th?
Tuesday. They start Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
I think the show was Tuesday. Qualifying tomorrow, or qualifying in the morning, the show at night.
I know Parker got out of here quick because he had to head to Maine.
Yeah, Chris is actually going to drive to Grand Rapids tonight and then fly to Maine. So he's got some hauling to do. He's got a match to win first. No, that's inside.
Inside.
Gonna get lucky? No,
he
fell the wrong way.
He wasn't happy about that one.
Yeah, we saw that was left all the way.
So all Michael has to do is mark now.
Yeah, but he does have
all
to mark.
All you have to do.
Yeah.
The worst thing in bowling.
Not the easiest thing to do here this week.
People say, all you got to do is mark. Yeah, okay.
It's like a 2-foot putt. Just a little tap in.
It's a gimme.
Sure.
Michael waiting on the re-racks on the machine about 6 lanes away because it's so quiet in here. You got to get it online.
All right. I like the chances of the 4-pin. And this is where that missed 10-pin really just comes back to rub some salt in the wound.
Oh, boy. And then some.
We can add 11 pins to that. That's 227. And that would have been a winner.
He just launched that. that ball wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, this one's not going to help.
So stay behind the foul line, get 5 pins.
I like his chances.
Well, you know that he's not going to slide over the line. He's got rubber on his slide foot, so that's not going to happen. Strike for the win. Michael Haugen advances to bowl Tommy Adcock.
22-16. We got a little time to fill here, Tom, as we get ready for this next match. Hess gets a few shots. Adcock will get a couple of shots. Haugen 204 game 1 winner over Denot. 222 game number 2. So 222 is the highest we've seen out of the first 4 games.
So what's your the tail of the tape on the score of this one?
Well, let's see. Tom Adcock qualified with a 224 average.
Haugen with 219.
So Haugen's a little bit under his qualifying average. Of course, we've seen him get tighter and tighter as the pattern kept getting put down, and it's showing the same here. Where you can't be missing by much more than the board one way or the other, and you're not even close.
I think it's still going to be a 220 match. Tommy Hess.
I think Adcock has a bit of advantage. He can get inside of where Michael's at, and he can be a lot firmer with it with his ball roll. And he might be able to create a little bit of room down at that rangefinder.
And Tommy could have a big, strong guy. Tommy's got to be what 6'2", 6'3".
Oh, he's all a 6'2".
Yeah, and he can rev it up and he can throw it straight. He's got tricks. So I see him doing whatever it takes, hooking it or going straight, no matter what it is, to compete in this match. I still think staying in the tube is the best idea right now. But Tommy Hess, when he gets here, is not going to be in the tube. He's going to be bumping that tube. And as long as these guys keep playing straight, I think they're kind of opening up a hook spot for him, which is going to kind of walk right into his game.
Yeah. No, it's kind of what we said earlier, that Tom Hess has liked the way that they were starting to break him down. But he's still got a couple more guys that are going to be ahead of him that can have something to say about that. Adcock not throwing the gem. Right now.
No, he brought out a dark code. He said he was going to bring it over just to see what he had with it.
Oh, that's an ASIM, right?
Yep.
Pearl?
And he's been throwing a gem and a Zen, both pin up, both with 1,000 on.
A lot of the gem this week. I think the majority's been with the Zen.
You mentioned before that Tommy, he's won a doubles tournament, a PBA event, but they don't give him the title because he wasn't a member. But it's kind of a bad shake, a win's a win, right? So, I mean, it's still a PBA title. I mean, unfortunately, the way they look at it, I think some guys are not going to agree. If you win,
well,
it's a title.
Perks to being a member, I guess.
How do you not say it's a title? It is a title. But that's kind of like saying Glenn Allison didn't really shoot 900. He did. He just didn't get an award for it, which that's kind of messed up also.
He's still remembered for it. So our volumes are cranked all the way up. You can turn up your volume on your screens if you run the cursor over top of where they're bowling, you'll see a little icon down at the bottom. But we're about as loud as we can go right here.
Without being down there and talking to them as they're throwing the shot.
Yeah. I mean, we're registering good on our meter here on the stream, so we keep an eye on that stuff best we can. He hasn't thrown the gem yet.
And he hasn't thrown the Zen yet. So
he doesn't have the Zen down there.
No. So maybe he was sitting back here watching and seen something that changed his mind totally. So we had 14 games of qualifying, 5 games of the cashier's round, then 3 game totals to get to this point.
Yeah, Adcock only had to bowl one of those. He had a bye.
He had a bye. He was in the top 4.
Haugen bowled 2 matches, so he's got another 6 games on top of that. So that's 25. 27. This is game 28 for Haugen, plus all the practice and pre-practice practice.
Right.
that you guys do out here.
And the Pro-Am that we bowled, oh my goodness. That was a Baker team Pro-Am. And we had to bowl for 2 teams at once. So you had to bowl the 5th for both teams. Then you had the 10th. So if you literally struck every time you were up, because you had 2 tenths, you had 80 frames that we actually bowled. And normally in a Pro-Am, we only bowl 3 games.
Yeah. You're young. You can handle it.
Oh, that was 3 hours, 3.5 hours. It was a fun Pro-Am, but oh.
See Haugen just taking a few shots to stay loose over on lane 17. And these are the shots you don't usually see during a TV show because we're a commercial. No commercials here.
Which is nice. I don't like commercials.
No?
No, I'm not a big fan of the commercial thing. And on BowlTV, you get to see all of the qualifying. So you get to see where players played all during the tournament. I mean, when you just see the show back in the day, because they didn't have that, you assumed everybody played that part of the lane because they always said, "Oh, Walter only plays outside of 5."
Yeah.
And, and Walter can play over the left gutter, but you would never see that because
Yeah, we
you never
did.
seen
We did on
qualifying.
Facebook. Fancy actually posted a video for us of Walter playing over the left gutter. So, but yeah, you don't see it normally, especially on a TV show. It's very rare, unless your name was Robert Smith, that you were left and lofting the gutter, which that was his normal shot, I think.
Well, that's that's what everybody remembers Robert for.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the semifinal match here in Highland Park Lanes.
Hey, it's T-shirt time. Get ready here before this next match starts. Semifinal match
Many times on
coming up.
the PBA regional tour, he's won many times as a non-member. I've known Tom for a long time. He's older than he looks, and he's won everything.
I know he looks pretty old.
He's also
No, he
won
doesn't.
the PBA50 tour, but he won as a non-member, so he's looking to win as a PBA member this time around, get that banner up there with Adcock on it. And let's give the two players a nice send-off to start them up. Guys, good luck.
I think he still should have a banner, just maybe a different color. I don't know.
Get a
It's
smaller
still,
banner.
It's still a win.
You get like a
don't care what anybody
micro
says.
banner. But that's, again, that's perks of being a member. You get that title, you get that banner, and it's immortalized forever. I get what you're saying, 100%. But I also understand why.
I know rules are rules.
So why? I mean, I guess it goes to why let non-members bowl, but that's not something we're going to solve. Michael Haugen, he's a member, and
he leaves an 8 count.
I mean, we see it now with this new golf tour, right? You're not allowed to be on the PGA anymore. You're not a member anymore, so you can't compete.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. All the guys that moved to the Live Tour are not allowed to bowl on the PGA Tour anymore.
Uh-oh. What was that?
I don't know.
He heard something, looked at something?
Somebody open the door?
I don't know. I mean, he was in his 3rd step and dead left.
Makes a spare, no problem.
He either seen something or heard something.
All right, first shot for Adcock here in this semifinal match. His 2nd telecast this year. The last time I made this show, remember, he kind of backed into the win as the highest seeded loser. This time he earned that number 2 spot and looking to get the W. I think we're tied.
You think?
I think so. Did that one in my head.
You looked up the screen, you seen 10 and 10?
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah, I got to fool me twice.
Wasn't nothing for me to say there. So whatever has happened on the lane, Tommy's game plan has changed drastically from when I talked to him earlier.
And I guess that's good, right? You don't want to get committed to something and then have it not work. So, but this is 15-7. That's more than anybody's been curving it today.
Well, maybe Michael with throwing what he threw and Carlos throwing what he threw, both gems, maybe open up the lane a little bit. And we're all guessing here because the lane is played so tight, and Michael's still trying to play 10 to 11 down lane. So if Tommy happens to win this, you think they'll go back and give him his other title and give him 2 now?
Nope.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
No retroactive.
Okay.
The only retroactives I believe in the history of the tour is when they made the Players a major a few years back.
Oh.
And remember they retroed that.
Yeah, they weren't counting what's the Masters for the long time as a PBA title.
Yeah, it's a USBC event.
Right.
So I'm not sure if they still count it as a PBA title or not. It's a USBC title. It's a major title. But I'm not sure the exact definition of how that works.
It's above our pay grade.
Yep. That was back in the same line. Still hit, 10, 10 and a half that rangefinder, but that 10 pin just wasn't going anywhere.
In the matches before we got to the show, when it got like this, Michael had went to a pearl ball, playing the same line, but the ball obviously revving up a little bit faster because it's pearl and give him way more carry. That's what he did against Carlos to actually win that match. So I'm wondering how long this is going to go before he switches balls. I'd like to talk to Tommy and find out what his game plan thought was about going to this dark code, what he's seen.
Yeah, I'd like to know if he's even thrown it much this week. I just don't remember seeing it. He's going to get it.
Oh,
no.
Slow
9
messenger.
9 3/4 is
Yeah,
still just
fell
9.
off the back of the deck before it hit the pin. That was a great shot. I mean, he's playing the lane totally different than it has been played in this.
Yeah, than anybody.
Yeah, and I think he's playing it close to where when Tommy Hess gets over here where he's going to be playing it.
Get that 10 pin out of there.
That was pretty firm.
A little bit. Only 23 and a half.
Yeah, I was saying 23.4.
Yeah, there's a little more left in the tank.
See, I think it takes 3 shots for me to get to 23.
I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say 2, but right now, definitely 3. Thursday, you could have done it in 2.
It must be nice to have speed. Just one time, I would like to throw the ball that hard just to see what it does.
You'd hurt yourself.
I know, but it would be fun once.
And that's left down lane, but it stayed there. Yeah, you could see that. That was inside.
Trying to take advantage of the shim, but this looks to be a spare match. That went down there pretty quick also.
That was only 23 flat. A little slow.
Tommy throwing up his hands. He goes, I thought it was good. Jab.
Well, we've got 1 strike through 7 shots so far. Make it 2.
I think Michael moved a little bit left on that.
Yeah.
He's got to, because if he doesn't, I think he's going to burn up his part of the lane.
Yeah, look more like 12 at the rangefinder, which is still pretty direct.
Well,
He just paralleled everything in and kept it firm.
one thing that happened with a dull ball, I mean, if it sees friction early, it might look like it's good going down the lane, but it loses enough energy that it can hit the pocket all day long and never strike.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that a lot through the last few weeks. Is the key to today's game is retaining energy at the pocket. You can get there a lot of different ways.
Oh my Lord!
And
that was
not
9
carry?
3/4 back. How did that pin stand?
Let's look. Do we have a replay on this one? Where does this ball go? Does this steamroll the 8 pin? Or does this go off the pin deck? Yeah,
Well, no, it did go left.
A little bit left, yeah.
Wow, that must have been that was a great shot.
Gotcha that time, he says. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it took 2 balls to knock down that pin.
Well, you see it's 78 in the 4th, spare up in the 5th. Strike here, and Tom Adcock takes the lead.
Scores after this last re-oil have not been, other than the Parker Bone Chris Barnes match, scores haven't been big at all. Not like qualifying scores.
Yeah, that was the anomaly for sure.
Oh, that was dead pure. How did that not strike?
Yeah, I don't know. And I think he's asking the same question he likes. He's like, come on, is this one going to strike for me? Nope.
Well, that ball, from that angle there, you could see it hit the pocket, and it didn't really drive. From where we're sitting, it looked like it did. But the replay shows that it hit the pocket and kind of deflected back to the right. Oh, my Lord. This is where you start pulling your hair out, folks.
Yeah, and he's one of the few that has some hair left to pull. Well, you got a little bit left, too.
It's getting more beige in the back, I've noticed.
You call that beige?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Flesh toned?
All right. All right. Well, it's Tom. He's still sticking with that ball. He's rethinking it. I don't know. Yeah, taking rear racket all the time. I think that last 10-pin fired him up a little bit because that's 3 in a row. And he's got to be thinking, what do I got to do?
Get out of that ball is what I think he's got to do. I mean, he's already left. If he gets farther left, now we're trying to create, I think, too steep angles. And if he does,
he can't create that shape with the gem, though, if he gets too far left. That's the problem, I think. Maybe that's why he's sticking with this, is he knows he can create.
He can go to a Zen. He's got that. He's at 17, 18 to 8.
Yeah,
and that was light. And that's
too far left.
That's a bucket crumbler. That ball never even made it back hardly.
Of course that carries, he says. Yeah, I think he's too far left now, right? No doubt.
I think he needs to ball down to something symmetrical and kind of try to stay in the tube. He's a good enough player and can throw it hard enough. He doesn't have to swing it all over. That ball's just DOA. It's not, I don't see that ball striking anymore unless you are just splitting hairs. I mean, if you got to be that perfect.
Well, yeah, I mean, that 7-pin he just left and now a 10-pin. What?
I don't. He's got to get out of that ball. I think they both got to get out what they're throwing.
Well, you don't want to say it's a carry contest, but exactly what it is right now.
It's a spare. Right now it's a spare
contest. Who can kick the corners out?
So here's the key. Since you're not striking, the odds, you can't get frustrated because you didn't strike and blow the spare. Since nobody's striking, I mean, that's giving away 11 pins.
It's still pretty much an even match.
It's an even match. So you still got to fill frames. I mean, obviously the key is to strike, throw, double, do something so you can take the lead. But if not, don't get fried.
Well, think about this, though. I mean, we see a lot of splits, so you don't want to start bringing those splits into play, right? Just leave things you can make.
Oh.
And a little evens it out there, right? The breaks even out, they say?
Well, they say.
Well, so far this game.
That was a 4-pin that just barely fell.
Yeah, with the way the match is going, is you want to at least keep the 9 spares in play. You don't want to bring in the washouts or the splits. But that last shot from Tom Adcock on the left lane definitely brought some designs into play. He just, he kind of got a little break and carried that little bucket crumbler.
Yeah, that could have been a mess.
Yeah, it could have been a lot of different things. But the fun part is we can sit here and guess all we want about what the players are trying to do. They're usually pretty close to being accurate, but they're the ones out there. They know exactly what the lane's giving them. These aren't just your Tuesday afternoon league bowlers. You know, these are guys that know how to win and win on tough conditions, and they're on one right now.
Well, exactly. They're at the foul line. They see it from their perspective, and the big thing is feel. They feel it,
Right.
And the great players are instinct players to begin with anyway. They instinctively do something. They see something, and these guys are going to make moves not based on textbook information. They're going to do what feels and sees right, and what they see is going to be right.
And these guys are both definitely field players. Adcock especially. He likes to get comfortable and just start letting it go. That one picked up better. Wow.
Oh, that was almost a 4-9, 2-9. It was almost a 2-9.
Yeah, I don't know what it almost was, but it's just a 9-pin now. Wow. And he's just going to, okay, what do I got to do? Right? That's not going to double, but I'm leaving 10 pins, and now I make a little move and leave a 9-pin.
Haugen pacing 197, Tommy pacing 206. I mean, it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're both clean through 7.
Well, Adcock's max 227 and 237 for Haugen. So does Michael give Adcock a chance to get up at the 9th, 10th to win it? We're about to find out. We are at the Highland Park Lanes Open here in Greeley, Colorado. This is what, stop number 8? Number 8 this year, I think. They're all starting to blur together a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I'm
That's
losing.
inside.
Oh, you thought.
It definitely was. Watch. I mean, this is 13 at the rangefinder.
And it's 12 down lane. I mean, he's basically paralleled it and shimmed it up.
Yeah.
Well, smart move. At least the ball.
Not many people can do that.
No. At least he gets the ball to actually retain some more energy, find some oil in the front part of the lane, conditioner, so that it doesn't try to dead stop by the time it gets to 45 feet.
Well, if he strikes here, he cannot be shut out by Tom Adcock. This is an important shot here for Michael Haugen Jr. (11-11).
That is 2 shots that he has labeled, one with a 7 and one with a 10. That ball hit 12. That was like 12 and 12. That is definitely like a parallel move.
I think that's a frozen rope. Yeah, this might be number 10. We had 5 on the Florida swing. Well, there's actually 1 in Vegas. 1 was a super senior. 2 in Texas.
Yeah, if you count the super senior, this is 10. That was a beautiful
slowed it
shot
down
by Tommy Adcock.
That was not even 17 mile an hour.
No. 16.8. Slowed that down. Tommy can now shoot 227.
So do you have 8 mile an hour difference between your strike ball and your spare ball?
Let's see. 13.8, 14.2 is my strike, and 16. No, 16 is my spare at 10. So what am I? I'm looking at 2.5.
And Tom is also 60. We need to remember that, which makes it more impressive what he's doing. Oh, hold right there. Come on.
There it is.
All right, we got us a heck of a match here.
I'm almost 66 and still upright. Come on now.
Better than 66 and almost upright.
Yeah, exactly.
So Michael Haugen can shoot 216 and 227 the max for Tom. 9 spare is 216. Potential for a tie.
We haven't had a tie in a while.
We have not. 4 10s and a 9 so far this game for Tom.
He
And
walked
this is
it
just
out.
week 4.
And see, now you black catted him. Now we have the possibility of a tie. Spares 216 for Tommy. And Haugen can go out.
Oh, it's 50-50. He's had 5 strikes and 5 9 counts. So Haugen shoot 216.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That went down there quick.
Pretty solid ball game.
Yep.
I mean, he was blistering that 1-3. He just had that one error shot that kind of crumbled the bucket on 19. Other than that, Tom threw the ball fantastic that game.
Oh, he has forced Michael to have to throw 3 in the 10th.
Just a tie.
Just a tie. Exactly.
Haugen took out Carlos Denot game 1, 204, 201. Chris Barnes, 222, 216, game 2. Here's the semifinal match. Adcock is posted 216.
And that is game, set, match. He got that one in. So Michael Haugen is going to finish in the number 3 spot tonight. So Tommy gets to bowl for a title. It's the TNT show.
We got 2 Toms there. We got 1 Tom here.
There you go.
Do I have to change my name?
Yeah. T. Elliott.
Well, if you go back to day 1 where Brian and I each picked Hess and Adcock, and here they are in the finals. Clairvoyance, you say?
You guys,
we're not bad at this.
Yeah, you had an inside look at something. You just threw that last shot, change
Yeah,
balls.
just getting out of the way.
Just getting out of the way.
Hey, another good week for Haugen. He's made 2 shows now this year. Hasn't picked up the win yet, but, you know, he'll get there.
I'm going to find out from Tommy the train of thought.
All right, we're going to take a 30-second break here, come back with the championship match. Tom Hess, Tom Adcock coming up next right here live on BowlTV.
We're back.
Yes, we are.
So I got a little bit of insight off of Tommy.
Okay.
So he brings over the dark code. Didn't bring over the 2 balls that we talked about that had 1,000 on them. He brings over the dark code, which he hit with an old 1,000 just to crack the shine, because he said it's cleaner through the front for him, and it gives him more shape off of the spot on the back end, because he said he needed that shape to carry the 10.
So is that little pearl, little surface?
At the little pearl with some surface.
Who's been begging for that for a couple weeks?
Yeah. See, that just made it more gooder, and that's what Tommy Hess is throwing right now as a pearl.
Well, through 6 games, the field average is 210.
So
I think it's going to take
what's it going to take?
224.
224 is your number?
224 to win this match.
I'm going 232.
Oh, you're taking my 232
I'm taking 232.
That's my favorite number.
Brian, got a thought on this? Huh? What's your score for this match? Yeah. This is deep thought here.
I think he just took I think he just took a 30-second nap between questions there.
225 to 224.
Well, you already got 224. You want
All
225?
right.
You mean just the winner's score?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, 236 then.
Oh,
All right, there you go.
he's going 236. Okay.
This guy said 236 as well. You're into a newcomer.
Ah,
All right, we got our picks in there. Who y'all got out there? I think Tom's going to win this one.
well, that was you went out on a limb on that one there, big guy.
And it doesn't need to be a very big limb this time.
Tom is going to win, either TA or TH.
And we've got two of the largest guys on tour out here in this championship match as well. I mean, Hess is 6 foot. Adcock 6'2".
Wait, Adcock looks a lot taller than 6'2".
I think we look eye to eye.
I don't know.
6'2" and a half.
But when you're only 5'8", everybody looks tall.
See, I like that there too. Tom shooting a 10-pin just to test the left side of the approach there, make sure there's nothing going on. And he knows he's going to leave a couple 10-pins this game. He's been watching.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, it's happening no matter what. So it looks like he's kind of committed to that Zen now. Is that what it's looking like? He doesn't have another ball out there, does he?
No. He told me that, he's got that new ball, the infinite physics, that he might go to, but.
Well, the altar is what got him here in that match against Mike Diaz. Well, that was a while ago, and that's a whole different lane pattern now. The way that these guys
yeah,
broke
well
it down.
that was a re-oil ago.
Yeah, and he had the right side to himself in that match. There's been a lot of action on the right side here now.
And Tommy's playing Tommy Hess. I guess we have to make sure that we say the right thing. I think he's going to be a little bit farther left than Tommy Adcock.
I think so. Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if the Zen maybe. I know he's got that X2, but I think that's too sharp off the end now. But the altar, man, has looked really good in Tom Hess's hands for a while. I guess we just haven't seen a lot of the Zen that I remember this year as much as we did last year. He's definitely farther left with his feet.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are.
But it's still, I think you still got to be right around, you got to kind of touch the middle of that rangefinder at 10 down lane.
Yeah, 10 to 12. I don't think you want to be going right of it too much because that's going to leave a lot of 10 pins.
Yeah, we know you got a little shimp if you hit 12. We've seen that already. And this is a championship match here. 2022 Highland Lanes Open. Highland Park Lanes Open, excuse me.
Back-to-back last year, and he was our 2021 PBA50 Tour Rookie of the Year.
Final match of the night.
And the
So,
PBA50
how many times have these guys bowled against each other?
Oh boy. I mean,
Tom Hess,
Tommy from Decatur, the other one from Iowa, I mean, all in the Midwest.
Yeah,
and there's
bowled
just a zillion
bunch
tournaments in the Midwest. They cross paths
together
a lot of times.
against each other. And here they are bowling for a title. So this is Tom Hess's 4th title match this year. Nine. All right.
Adcock is about as cool, calm, and collected as they get, I think.
He's been here before, right? He's been on the big stage. He's won big tournaments. He's not going to be fazed by this a bit. If you remember, even back to the first tournament in Florida, we all said, well, Adcock's going to win this year at some point.
Well,
It's just a given,
yeah.
right?
There's
When we
no-
start going on a list, okay, you had X number of tournaments. You know, okay, Walter's going to get one, Parker will get one. You know, go through your list of regulars. Then, okay, Adcock will get one. You know, somebody else will sneak in. Denot, we knew was going to get one.
Right.
But Tom Hess doesn't want to be the one to give it to him.
And Tommy almost 7-10 on his very first shot. So Tommy throwing that Zen symmetrical ball with a little bit more polish on it than what Adcock's throwing. He's throwing an asymmetrical ball, but a pearl with a little surface, as you like.
I do.
And so many people don't want. Ooh,
Who?
I don't
I
know.
think it's us.
I think somebody in the back.
Yeah, somebody behind us.
What was that all about?
I don't know. All right, good spare. I do see a problem on our score. So we got Tom and Tom. We can see their last name because we see the whole score up there. But you viewers at home, you know,
Yeah,
it's just the way it goes.
They kind of should have put up Hess and
yeah, I
Adcock
don't know if we
maybe.
can-
Or
guys at the
just
counter
H
can
and
fix
A.
that, but yeah. But the score above the bowler is the one you're looking. That's their score. It switches back and forth. He fed that one to the two pretty nice, didn't he?
Yeah.
Actually, he looked like he almost went to the box on
Yeah,
that one.
I think he thought that was a little bit higher.
Think so?
Yeah,
Well,
that
look at
crossed
how he
like,
posted though. He watches it all the way.
yeah, that
Oh,
was
wow.
high.
Yeah, that steamrolled the 8-pin.
And that crossed like 1920. So I'd be curious. I still want to know what he was yelling about.
I don't know. All right, he likes it.
Yeah, Tommy Adcock. He said that, you know, he definitely thinks he's got the right ball in his hand. He said, I just got to stay, for him, mellow. He goes, I just got to stay slower, which is hard for him to do. Big, strong kid. I call him a kid. He looks like a kid. It's hard to believe he's 60.
Yeah, we got to check his ID.
There's just no way that guy's 60.
I think that just caught a little bit inside and maybe a little bit of that shin we've been talking about and just didn't quite finish.
Well,
Just kicked that 10.
you got Tommy playing a little bit left hand, so he could be pushing a little bit of oil towards his track, but I don't think that can happen in so many shots.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not after just those first couple.
That was online. Double 9 spare starting out with Tommy Adcock. Spare strike for Tom Hess, his first 2 frames.
Yeah, nobody's going to make a sound now.
Yeah, everybody's like dead quiet. They're scared to say
Everybody's
that.
holding their breath.
We're not even talking. We're just.
No.
I think that crossed like 22 from what I could see from here. It might have been right around 20, but he's definitely playing a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it looked like maybe it was moving. That one didn't finish near as strong. That was a little heavier on the 9-pin as opposed to the last one was on the 8-pin.
over both of these guys, I think it's more about speed control, because if they get a little amped, they're going to throw it too hard.
Right, I agree. And I think that's something Tom Hess has done great at this year. Is his speed control has been really, really good. He can amp up when he needs to, but he also can throw shots like this.
Well, that was a great shot, but he gets fired
again,
up.
look, that was way left to the 8-pin again. Almost identical to his shot before on that lane.
This could be a little bit of a slugfest here.
It could be. It's an 11-pin match right now. Just one spare for both players so far. Who's going to get the most 10s?
That was a beautiful shot. Tommy slowed that speed down just a little bit so that ball can shape.
I think they must have heard us. We just talked about speed control. Don't get too fast, and both players just threw 2 quality shots right there.
And I think it's 2 different kinds of speed. Adcock's speed is because of his height and his leverage, I believe. And Hess is just because he's just so darn strong.
Yeah.
And if he uses his upper body. So we're getting 2 different kinds of speed.
That's 15-7.
That didn't sound good off of his
No,
hand.
I think that's a big break. That could have been a washout. That's one you just beg to just stay right. You know, don't tip up and give me a, you know, some sort of washout. So that was a big break.
That didn't even look right. It looked like he missed it off his hand. Ooh.
Never a doubt.
Wow.
Never a doubt.
I think that's how he won the Peterson. Just throwing it a high hard one as the head pin.
Still staying relaxed, though. That's good.
Tommy Adcock doesn't show a lot of emotion. And I think that's what if you're going to win out here, you got to be able to control the nerves. Oh.
That's a ring 10 right there. That's a ring 10.
It's like everybody's scared to say anything when Tommy's up there right now.
Yeah, these guys are blowing great.
But he got that.
We're seeing some good shot makers right here.
He got that past 10 down lane on the replay. He got it to like 8. And we said earlier, you get out there, you're going to hit the pocket, but you're going to leave a 10.
Yep. I'd like to really know what's going through Tom's head, because this is his 4th show. He hasn't been able to sneak out a win yet. He's been right there a couple times, right in the 10th frame. And you know he wants it as bad as anybody. He wants to validate that player of the year from last year and prove that, hey, that wasn't a fluke. I won 2 majors, rookie of the year, player of the year. I can still win out here.
Well, when you get, this is the PBA 50. And when you get a young 50 out here, rightly so, when you get a quality player like that, they should win. You know, they're, for lack of a better term, they're younger, they're stronger. You know, a lot of the guys out here now are late 50s, early 60s, and that's a big difference.
Oh, sure.
That was a quality shot there.
Well, no, that's to be honest, it's not like Tom hasn't won. He's won 3 events on the regular tour and this tour, and they were all majors.
Yeah. See, that was a better shot. So he got that to 9. He didn't get it as far right.
Yep.
So Major Tom.
Major Tom.
Is that what we're going with? Well, Tommy Adcock needs to get on his horse here because looks like Hess is pretty lined in. Not that Tom's not, but he's not carrying.
If he strikes there, it's a 10-pin match. All right.
That was a little slower. And if you're going to play next to that shim, I think you got to be a little bit slower to get that ball to actually read after he gets out of there.
He was 17.07 his last strike. He was 17.04 on that one. That's pretty close.
You think?
I mean, that's pretty close. Within 0.3 of a mile an hour.
That's high.
Hold.
Oh.
A little wiggle. That's exactly what that ball did down lane. A little shimmy and wiggle right here.
That was. See,
you know, that was a little better than Carlos's dance move. Not a lot, but
a
little.
I didn't really understand Carlos.
I don't think they had a lot of dancing in Central Illinois. You know.
I said that was going to be high, but he hit that shim and it barely even got to the pocket.
Yeah, that was interesting. The way that ball just got off the end of the penner and just scored it out on him there.
And I don't want to call it fallback because on fallback,
right,
the ball actually tips a little bit. These don't even look like they want to tip.
All right.
I thought that was
carry too.
I thought that was too far right.
I think he might have at first, but you know what?
Yeah, because that was
out
out
there.
there.
Put a hand in it.
That's Zach and I talked about it earlier. I mean, a lot of strikes here were like half pocket, and it was just those light shakers. And if that strikes, line up to do that.
Yeah, and then if you catch one, then it's dead flush.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, we still got a 10-pin match. That one's got to get up.
Nope.
Yeah, that one, I think he maybe thought he got something on that right lane, found something, and threw in that same spot, and it just doesn't quite make the turn.
I just wonder if he heard the voices behind us because it was so quiet, and I heard him through
a little bit. Somebody in the bar.
Even with the headphones on.
Yeah, they're on the other side of the wall, but this place is very, very quiet right now. Surprised maybe some players just don't put in earplugs.
You know, that actually makes a more hollow sound. It actually, I think it makes it worse. Tommy on the spare.
Tom Adcock, 259 possible. Tom Hess, 248.
Well, this is definitely the highest scoring match we've had so far.
In same scenarios before, you know, depending on what Tom Adcock does here, he may or may not give Tom Hess a chance to get up in the 9th and 10th and lock it up.
Uh-oh.
That looked firm.
Oh.
That looked firm, but he wasn't letting that get off line at all.
I think we got a bad angle because that looked like it was left off his hand.
No, I think he knew. I think that was intentional. He said, you know, I'm just going to jam this one in there. I ain't going to mess around. That was one of the best shots he's thrown all afternoon, and he knew it. See, and that was a little bit faster too. So this is one where he's got to take a deep breath and just slow it down now. See, he is doing that, taking a deep breath. Give me a minute. That last one sent a message. Yeah. This one's to put the pressure on.
Yeah, he's got his hand fan up there. He's cooling down his hand. He's got that free swing that he starts with just so he never tightens up. And that
got to get up. Got to get up.
That was the same shot that happened before, which looked like he missed at the bottom of the swing. Just didn't look like he caught it. Well,
Now it's
2-8 is something that you just really don't want to shoot at.
No.
You know, especially when you got that shim.
Yeah, straight at it. Is that the idea here?
I don't think he's going to go straight.
Oh, hooking a little bit. All right, he's got it.
Yeah.
So that gives him 187. That's 237 now. Possible for Tom Adcock, and Tom Hess can get up right here and win it. He can shoot 248.
Well, he's got to throw a couple strikes to make that happen.
2 strikes, 2 spares on this lane so far in this championship match for Tom Hess. 4th time he's been in this position this year, bowling for a title, looking for his first win after a great rookie season last year. Out of Granger, Iowa. All right. That's about as good as they get right there.
I don't think you can throw it any better than that.
That's about as good as they get. Look at this shot. But look how he just posts every shot and watches it go right off the pin deck. I like that a lot.
This is the key shot here. You got the foundation frame. Now he's got to close the door.
Well, 237, Adcock's max score, strike 9 spares, 237, but Tom Hess doesn't want to mess around with that. He throws a double, it's over. They're 2 in the 10th. That got to 9-ish. There we go. And I'll tell you what, if this next one strikes, they're going to hear him down in Colorado Springs.
Oh, they might hear him back in Granger.
They just might, because he's, I like this, taking a rear rack.
He's got to slow everything down. He knows he's pumped up.
Yeah.
He's got to slow the heart down, slow the breathing down. Yeah, he's telling himself to just calm back down. You know, Norm Duke had a great thing. When he bowls on the right lane, he never shows any emotion. When he bowls on the left lane, he would show emotion because he knew he had 2 shots to calm down. But in this situation, Tom's in charge of his own destiny because he's got to calm himself down.
That's it for the title here. Highland Park Lanes open here in Greeley. Tom Hess, a strike, and he's our champion.
If he does a strike, Tommy Adcock can't strike out for 237.
He's got to get at least 9 spare for the potential tie. So 10's a winner.
All 10 back. He likes it. There it is.
Yeah, what I tell you. Yeah, what a redemption there. That's for all these second places this year, and capitalizing and proving the guys from last year that wasn't a fluke. Tom Hess, a champion again out here on the PBA50 Tour. We all knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time, and I think he was wondering how long was it going to take because he's been here a lot this year.
Well,
almost half the events, right? This is number 10. He didn't bowl the Super Senior,
right?
So out of 9 events, he's been in a title match 4 times.
In 4 seconds, and Monkey off his back.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, Tom Hess. Tommy Adcock put up a hell of a fight.
Boy, every single match came down the 10th frame, huh?
Yeah.
We can't ask for much more.
So 248. All of us missed our guess on this one.
Yeah, we couldn't ask for much more here in the Stepladder. And congratulations, Sue, as well. You're going to have a nice phone call here in a little bit. And enjoy every second of it. And Tom Adcock, it's still going to happen.
He's still going to win.
I'd put him favorite for Hammond. He's bowled in that place before. He's got some history there.
Oh, we got 7 stops in the Midwest, and he's just pure nose. That Tommy's going to shoot 237, 248. What a title match!
One more shot. We got some hardware and some money to give out and a little interview to do. So take it over here in the booth, guys. We'll see you down there in a second.
Final shot, Tommy Adcock, 237. Great tournament for Tom Adcock. Tom Hess, our winner. Craig Elliott working his way down to the approach for the championship interview with Tom Hess. Sue, I know you are screaming back in home. I think I heard you scream.
To Tom Hess, I'd like to take the opportunity one more time to thank our hosts. There's one of them, Zach. Zach, thanks so much for everything that you've done. And Jackson, where's Jackson at? Jackson up there, thanks for inviting us. Thanks for all of your hard work. Thanks to Al in the back and the staff up here up front. You guys are wonderful. We had a great time. And without further delay, why don't we bring Zach and Jackson out here. Thanks so much to all of you for coming out on a holiday weekend. And we've had a great time here in Greeley. So Zach Endress, Jackson, come on out. Jackson Dinas, and let's give away some money and some hardware. Zach?
It has been our honor to host all these guys. Wonderful. Been an honor to host these guys. First time they've ever come to Colorado, and we couldn't be more thrilled. What a great step ladder, 10 to 15 pins each match, going into the 10th. That's just great entertainment for all of us. So thank you guys to the athletes for coming out today. All weekend, you guys were great. I can't thank you enough. Congratulations, Tommy.
Thank you, Zach.
You're very welcome, man.
Well, here. Jackson, I'll shake your hand just a second. Yeah. Zach and Jackson, thank you very much for having us. First-class facility, beautiful place. Hope to be back next year. Like to thank the fans for coming out. You know, just an awesome display all week. Thank you very much for showing up. My friend, great match. We're supposed to double in a 50-60 littering this year, so pretty good team. To Storm Bowling, Bill and Barb Chrisman, thank you very much. Vice Inserts, John Jameson, John Nakashima, thank you very much. I Am Bowling, Ken and Kathy Keegan, thank you. The guys at Bowlers Connection. Most importantly, hey, baby, I'm coming home. I did it. I haven't seen you in like 6 weeks. Well, I've seen you, but I'm going to be home. What a way to end it. Thanks. I'm trying not to cry. I always do this, but we're doing okay here. Thanks again to everybody. To the PBA and Bolero for giving us the opportunity to compete. Thank you very much. John, you do a great job too, but I don't know what it is you do, but you do good.
Well, I watched Linda work. It's been great. So, hey, by the way, this is Tom's third time to bowl for the title, so well-deserved. He led it all the way. He bowled one match for the title. Well-deserved, Tom. And don't worry about Tom Adcock because he's going to win anyway. He's going to come back and win. But, hey, before Craig Elliott comes out here for the interview with Tommy, I'm not going to let Jackson get out of here without talking. So, Jackson, thanks very much. Plus, I'm still waiting for that check. He likes to hold on to that money, and I'm waiting for that check. I'll wait all day. Jackson, thanks for having us. I love it here. Thanks so much. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
I don't know what more I could say other than what Zach said, but Zach honestly everyone did their part, but Zach put together most of what we did this whole weekend. Thank you to him. I mean, this was awesome. First time PBA50 here in Colorado, here at our center. My grandpa, who started this center, would be very happy to have seen this. And yeah, thank you for everyone bowling. Congratulations, Tom. Thank you, John. Thank you to his crew.
I'll just echo the same thoughts for everybody. Thanks to the staff here and thanks to you, the fans. Without you, we have no reason to be out here putting on these great shows. And Tom?
Hi, Craig.
I think we were wondering if this was ever going to happen this year.
Yeah.
But here we are. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, like John said, this is the third time I bowled for the title, second time as the #1 seed. You know, it feels good to come through, you know, and not just on the PBA, but here in the regionals. Man, I've had a bunch of second places for about the last 18 months, and it was starting to get old. You know what I mean? Everybody said, keep putting yourself there, keep putting yourself there, and you'll win. And, Tom Adcock pulled a phenomenal match, making me throw the double in the 10th to win, and, standing up and closing up the match sure feels good. Congratulations to him, Michael, Chris, and Carlos. Great week to anybody to make the show. It's not easy to make a show out here in a field full of Hall of Famers every week.
I know we've got to talk a lot over the last couple months, and I appreciate that. 2 wins last year, Rookie of the Year, Player of the Year, a couple of majors. What's it mean to come back now here and actually validate last season?
That means a lot. I did do back-to-back majors and got on quite a roll last year at the end of the year. I made, I think it was 4 of the last 5 shows, and then won. Yeah, it was 4 of the last 5 shows, and won 2. So to take that break and come back, and I've bowled for the title twice, but to get another win in yet another year means last year wasn't a fluke. I'm a damn good bowler, and to put another one on in another year, means a lot. It means the sacrifices, the driving. Man, I've put almost 40,000 miles on my car this year, and still got about 600 or 800 to get home yet. So, but just winning never gets old, and I don't know what else to say. Thanks to all my sponsors that allow me to do this, and my family rooting from home. It's going to make the drive home that much sweeter. Maybe I will get all 9 hours in tonight. Who knows? Well,
the good news is we're back in the Midwest for the rest of the year. It'll take a little break on the car, but let's give a little shout out. We know Sue's watching. Any messages for your family at home?
No, I don't know if my daughter's watching. I know my wife sent me a message that my son and my wife are watching at home. I believe my mom and my little sister are watching. Thank you all, Megan, if you're watching. I love you all. Thank you very much. And to all the fans, my phone's blowing up. I'm getting tons of messages. Thank you all for the support. It means the world to you. Winning without the support and the adulation from your friends and your fans wouldn't mean anything. So thank you all.
Congratulations again, our champion, Tom Hess. Well done. And we've all got a couple weeks off before the tour comes back in Westland, Michigan in a couple weeks. So everybody can get rested up, come back for the back half of the tour in the Midwest. So we'll see you all there.
Greg Elliott with the interview with Tommy Hess. Bringing it back into the booth in just a second. This is our final show for this swing. We'd call it the West Coast Swing. We'll start it up in 2 weeks in Westland, Michigan. Vision Lanes the action starts July 18th. And from there we have Bowling Green and Hammond, Indiana. So we got a whole lot of shows coming up in the next month and a half. So stay tuned to BowlTV because bowling lives here.
All right. Ready? Yeah, I think I'm ready.
You ready?
What a final match. What a stepladder. I mean, how are we going to top that?
That was awesome. He was going nuts, wasn't
he? and for everybody out there, I didn't make him cry.
No, he was already crying.
But it wasn't me. So.
He was already crying.
But congratulations to Tom Hess and everybody else.
You had that tendency to make people cry, though.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
Great showing by Tom Adcock. The Tom and Tom showing, as they said, they're going to bowl doubles later this year. So we knew they bowled a lot together and against each other. So to see that match out here was fantastic.
Yeah. And Tommy Adcock is going to win. There's just no doubt about it.
So thanks to everybody here, the staff. We saw Zach and Jackson out there. A couple young proprietors here in northern Colorado do a fantastic job. Hopefully we'll have a chance to be back. Maybe tweak the schedule to catch a little better outcome here, a little better turnout. Just a tough part of the year for it to happen, unfortunately, but still a great job by the guys. Of course, John Weber, Linda Carter, the job they do. Everybody out there, we appreciate it and appreciate you fans. So we'll see you in a few weeks in Westland, Michigan.
I will see you there.
All right.
Zach Wilkins, we'll see you next year.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.